been really surprised by how meditative learning to watercolor and the process of watercolor has been. Every part of my mind and my body is present. And it's fully connected. There's no separation, and there's no awareness outside of myself, except when I did this painting. Now, this is the first time that I recorded myself. I didn't have a goal. I just wanted to see what would happen. And what happened? A division. I became aware that I was recording, and in that, a sort of performance anxiety emerged. You can't tell from this video, but my hand is shaking, and it made me mess up in a couple places. There was a pull inside me telling me that I needed to make it perfect, that if anyone saw this video, they would see my mistakes. It wasn't really a voice so much as just a feeling within my body, of a feeling of needing, of striving, of having to get it right, a very sense of accomplishment needing to be done. I was in my head and fully in self-doubt, and it severed my connection to my body so that I didn't feel in the flow of the work at all. But I recognized the nervousness as a fear of being judged. So I just noted it and continued. What's interesting, though, is I became aware of other things. So yes, I was painting. Yes, I was engaged in the painting and aware of the fact that I was painting, but I also became aware of myself comparing my work to the sample. Of course, this is helpful to me in the beginning when I'm comparing to learn, but there's sometimes a shift, and the comparing becomes wrapped up in good versus bad, not good enough, doesn't live up to what the sample is, and that's when all the trouble begins, that comparing mind. I was struck by how all of this was going on inside me while I did this painting. And what was happening, it was blocking my ability to reach the joy I normally feel when I paint. So I was also struck by how much I held my breath. I was struck by how disappointed I felt when looking at the final piece. And I was struck by how all this shut down my ability to be creative and spontaneous while I was doing the painting. All this internal tension. It's exhausting, and it's not fun. But I'm glad I had this experience. It taught me a lot, actually. So then I stopped to let the painting dry and walked away from it for a while. Later, I went back to it, and I looked at my version of the painting by itself, without viewing it side by side to the sample, and I found myself very pleased with the result.